Hello students, how are you? I welcome you all to IS Ment Rise with Right Mentor. This video is also part of UPSC Prelims Preparation Strategy series. In this section, we are discussing about the various techniques through which the prelims MCQs can be solved. Knowing these techniques is very much important for everyone, because without knowing these techniques, it becomes very much difficult to clear this exam. This technique teaches how to apply the knowledge in the questions and reach to the correct answer. Okay, so this is the second part of this section, and as you see, this is the part 2, and in this part we are discussing a technique by the name of eliminating similar or opposite options. Now, what is this strategy? Let's understand. See, there can be two types of questions under this technique. There can be two types of questions. In first type, there will be two given statements, statement A and statement B. Now, there is a possibility that both the statements are similar to each other. That both the statements are similar to each other means whatever is given in statement 1 is supported by statement 2. Both the statements support each other, both the statements are similar to each other, right? If this is the case, then the possibility is that the answer will only and only be either both statements given are correct or both the given statements are wrong. In these type of questions, only this type of possibility is possible, that either both the statements will be correct or both the statements will be wrong. Here, it is not possible that only one is correct or only two is correct. It is not possible in this type of question. And in second type of questions, there will be two statements, and it is possible that out of these two statements, both the statements are contradictory to each other. Means both the statements are not supporting each other. If one statement is saying something, then the other statement will be saying a totally different, a totally opposite thing, which is not possible. And here, the maximum possibility is, see, here there are three kind of answers can be drawn, but the maximum possibility is it will be either statement A correct or statement B correct. And the third possible option can be that both are wrong, but both cannot be right. This is confirmed. If they are contradictory, then they cannot be right. This is confirmed. This option becomes true is very less likely. Is very less likely to be true, this option. Generally, what you will see that the final answer will be from either of the two options. Okay, this is also possible. I'm not saying that this is not at all possible. This is also possible, but the chances are very less. Fine. So let's briefly repeat this strategy. There will be two types of questions. In one type of questions, the given two statements will support each other, will be similar to each other. If this is the case, then there will be only two possibilities of the correct answer. One is that either both these statements will be right or both the statements will be wrong. There can never be a correct answer which will say that statement 1 is right or statement 2 is right, right? This is the first type of question. And the second type of question which can be framed in this type of technique is the given two statements will be contradictory to each other. Means whatever statement 1 is saying, the statement 2 will be totally opposite to that. If this is the scenario, then the correct answer will be either statement 1 is correct, second possibility either statement 2 is correct, And there is also a third possibility that both the statements are wrong. The third possibility is less likely to happen. The chances are less कि यूपीएससी ऐसा क्वेश्चन फ्रेम करे जिसमें both the statements are wrong. More chances are कि either of the statements will be right. Fine. So now let's see some of the questions, some of the example questions to understand this technique and to see how this technique is applied to questions, right? So let us see the first question. The first question is saying that the Tropic of Cancer passes through 8 Indian states. And the second statement is saying that the equator passes through India. One statement is talking about Tropic of Cancer, and the another statement is talking about equator. We all know that the southernmost tip of India passes through somewhere 8 degree north, and equator is at 0 degree. So this possibility becomes wrong. Now the second possibility, by the fact we should know, this is the basic geography fact that Tropic of Cancer passes through 8 Indian states. So the statement 1 becomes correct. Okay, now let's suppose you don't know about the first statement. Now you have to choose from either of the statements. What I have said is both the statements are wrong. The chances are very less. Either of the statement will be right. If you have to guess blindly, then also you can go with the statement 1, right? See the final answer, 1 only. Let's see the question number 2. With reference to fundamental rights in India, consider the following statements. Fundamental rights are absolute and cannot be restricted. State can impose reasonable restrictions on fundamental rights. First of all, what I can draw by reading this question is that both these statements are contradictory to each other. If they are absolute, then no one cannot. First is, if they are absolute, then no one can put any restriction on them, right? And if state can impose restrictions, then they cannot be absolute. Both the statements are contradictory. Now it means that only one statement is possible, that which is right, or both are wrong. Let's see. Fundamental rights are absolute and cannot be restricted. No, this is absolutely wrong statement. As we all know that under Article 19, under Article 19(1), there are some reasonable restrictions, right? And moreover, during emergency, right? So first statement is wrong, then the statement 2 will be right. State can impose reasonable restrictions on fundamental rights. Yes. So answer is B. Let's see next question. With reference to Indian Parliament, consider the following statements. A money bill can be introduced only in Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabha cannot amend or reject the money bill. Now see, after reading these questions, what we can conclude is that both the statements are similar to each other, both are supporting each other, right? A money bill can only be introduced in लोक सभा, यानी कि मनी बिल सिर्फ लोकसभा में ही जा सकता है. अगर वो लोकसभा में ही होगा तो राज्यसभा उसे रिजेक्ट और अमेंड कर ही नहीं सकती. यह तो सही है. देखिए, द क्वेश्चन इज वेरी मच इजी. यू माइट थिंक दैट क्वेश्चंस आर वेरी इजी and sir is explaining only easy questions. Yes, this is because this has been done deliberately, because we have to understand the technique. We have to understand how we can apply the technique to the questions. That's why it is important to pick easy questions. so that we can understand them easily. Okay. So here a money bill can be introduced only in Lok Sabha. See, if both the statements are supporting each other, na, the benefit of it is that if you know either of the statement, you might be unaware about the second statement. But if you are aware either of the statements and you identify that this is correct, then the answer will always be both correct. You don't even have to read the second statement. Means one reading is definitely necessary to identify that either both the statements are similar or contradictory. But if you understand that yes, these are similar, then if you know either of the statements, then you can reach to the correct answer. If you know that either of the statements is correct, then both the statements are correct. If you know that either of the statement is wrong, then both the statements are wrong. This is the beauty of techniques, right? So a money bill can only be introduced in Lok Sabha. Yes. So the statement 2 will also become wrong, right? Answer is both 1 and 2. Okay. Next question. NHRC, National Human Rights Commission, is a constitutional body. Can investigate complaints of human rights violations by both government and private actors. By both government and private actors. Which of the following statements given are correct? Now see, if we don't know the things, then also we can apply some logics. First statement is fact-based. This type of statements comes under the scenario that either you know or you don't know. First statement is wrong because it is not a constitutional body, right? It is a statutory body. Second is NHRC can investigate complaints. Can investigate complaints. Yes. First information. Second, by both government and private actors. Now here logic can be applied as कि if NHRC will start investigating private actors also, तो NHRC की हालत खराब हो जाएगी इन्वेस्टिगेट करते करते. और NHRC is not made for that. For that, police is there, right? So statement 2 is very, very weird. So this will be wrong. Answer is D. Now, how the technique applied over here? First, we drawn that the first statement is wrong. If we concluded this, then C is definitely ruled out. C can never be the correct answer. Now, as I said, the most likely answer is 1 or 2. But there is also a chance that none can also be correct. Now, this is a question where none is correct. Okay. But along with that, what we learned from this question is how to apply logical guesses. With reference to India's economic reforms, consider the following statements. New economic policy of 1991 was focused on liberalize, privatize, globalize. Means was focused on LPG. The new economic policy of 1991 introduced measures for greater state control over the economy. Now, one statement is saying that economic policy was introduced focused on liberalization, privatization, and globalization. Main is liberalization. If a policy is focused on liberalization, then how that policy can support greater state control? So either of the statements is wrong. We concluded this. If this is the thing, then the answer can be either 1, 2 or neither. C option is totally ruled out. Now we all know about this thing. This is very basic fact. So the answer is 1. Next example question. Consider the following statements regarding the Indian Constitution. DPSP are non-justiciable, while fundamental rights are justiciable. DPSP enjoy primacy over fundamental rights in case of conflict between the two. Both the statements again are contradictory. Although statement 2 is wrong and statement 1 is correct, but we all know that statement 1 is correct. We have read this much of polity that we know that statement 1 is correct. Difference between part 3 and part 4 of the Constitution, we already have read this thing. Now, since we know this thing, then this statement is correct. And if this statement is correct and both are contradictory, if both are contradictory, then what is the possibility? Either of the options is correct or none is correct. Now, C is eliminated at first instance. Once we understood that both the options are contradictory, C is eliminated. Now we left with 1, 2 and 4. Since we know that one of the statement is correct, then D is also eliminated. D is also eliminated. Now, we don't even have to read the second statement. We don't even have to apply the brain on second statement. Since one statement becomes right, then the final answer will be 1 only. Right? With reference to India's biodiversity and climate zones, consider the following statements. Western are biodiversity hotspot. Eastern Ghats have higher annual rainfall than Western Ghats. Now, during the study of environment, we all have studied that Western Ghats are biodiversity hotspots. And if one area receives higher rainfall and the other area receives lesser rainfall, whichever area receives higher rainfall will be more biodiverse. Okay? If this is the thing, then both the statements are what? Contradictory. Both the statements are contradictory. Second is, we have concluded that statement 1 is correct. Then the answer will be 1. No need to apply your logic or thinking or time on the second statement. Just identify two things. One is contradictory. Another is if any of the statement can be marked right. Yes, then answer is that only. ISRO launched its first satellite, Aryabhat, in collaboration with NASA. PSLV for launching geostationary satellites. First is ISRO launched its Aryabhat satellite somewhere around 1970s, 80s. Now, by this, what we can conclude is going with NASA is very, very less likely. Going with NASA is very, very less likely. Hence, this statement becomes wrong. Either India would have launched it by its own, or if at all there would be a need of any foreign aid, then rather than going to USA, we would have gone to Russia, right? So this statement becomes wrong. Second is PSLV is used to launch geostationary satellites. Now we all know that geostationary satellites are higher orbit satellites, and PSLV was made to launch low Earth orbit satellites. PSLVs were made to launch low Earth orbit satellites, and geostationary satellites are high Earth orbit satellites. Fine. So this is not possible. Both the statements are contradictory. Here the contradiction or similarity thing is not applying as such, but yes, by logic we can conclude to the correct answer, that one is also wrong and second is also wrong. Answer is D, right? Final answer D. Aryabhat, India's first satellite, was launched by the Soviet Union, 1975, not NASA. Now, with reference to Indian economy, consider the following statements. GST is destination-based tax. GST imposed only by central government. Only by central government. Now, this is a fact-based question that we know that GST is not GST is a destination-based tax, right? And GST is imposed only by central government. No, how is it possible? States कहाँ जाएंगे? तो हमारे पास है ना CGST और SGST. CGST by state, SGST, CGST by center, SGST by state. Fine. Next question. International Solar Alliance. ISA was launched at 2015 Paris Climate Summit. Headquarters of ISA are located in Paris, France. We all know by the fact that ISA was launched in 2000 Paris Climate Summit. Yes. Second is headquarters ISA located in Paris. No. They are where they are located? In Gurugram. Right? In Gurgaon. Headquarters is located in Gurgaon, in Gurugram. So, first statement right, second statement wrong. Now, conclusion. These are the 10 examples through which we have understood this technique. Now, let us revise this technique. There will be two types of questions. In first question, the given two statements will be similar or supporting each other. If this is the case, then there will be only and only two possible answers. One is either both are correct or both are wrong. It is not possible that either of the statement is correct. If in second type of question, the given two statements will be contradictory to each other. If this is the situation, then there is no chance that both the statements are correct. The answer can be either one correct, either two correct, or none of the given statements are correct. Fine. So this technique is also very, very important to draw the correct answer. As we already discussed that prelims GS exam, yes, the questions are from general studies, but to solve them along with knowledge, we also be very well aware about the aptitude of how to solving these questions. And in this part and in this section of the whole series, we will be discussing these several techniques which are used to solve the MCQs. Without knowing these, it becomes very much difficult to clear this exam. All right. So इस वीडियो में इतना ही. मिलते हैं अगली वीडियो में. Till then, please like, subscribe, share, and please go through the whole UPSC Prelims Preparation Strategy series. This series will definitely help you in this prelims. So till then, thank you. Bye bye.